Okay, Pat Dooris joining us now. So, Pat, we know that a lot of people wanted exemptions. Some people got them. Most people didn't. What is the hospital telling you about it?
Well, they're telling us that they had a very deliberative process and that everything was carefully studied and that most people, you're right, did not get these exemptions. But it was interesting when I tried to pin down the HR director for Legacy on exactly how many people did get the exemptions. She really did not want to answer that question. Take a look. How many exemptions have been given?
We had hundreds of people apply for an exception. The majority of those were denied. However, we did have some medical exceptions and some religious exceptions. We aren't saying how many.
And why won't you share how many, what the number is?
First of all, what's happening is every single day, we're seeing that some of those who were even approved for a medical and a religious exception are getting vaccinated.
Well, would there be a harm in, for example, sharing the percentage if you don't want to share the raw number?
Well, we've shared the percentage of employees who are vaccinated, which is greater than 95%.
Right. But I'm still trying to get to sort of some sense of the percentage of exceptions that were granted.
Oh, percentage of exceptions among those that applied for an exception?
Yes.
Yeah, we aren't answering that question. We know there's going to be there will be many challenges.
She eventually said that she didn't want to give the number because she knows there's going to be challenges, probably lawsuits, and I think she's trying to protect and hold some stuff back.
What do people in the community, what should we expect in the Portland area if somebody needs to go to the hospital? We've been hearing so much about shortages in general, and now this has been certainly part of the conversation when it comes to people and whether or not they will keep their jobs and if some of these hospitals will be understaffed. Will people in the community notice a difference?
Well, Legacy says no. Of course, they would say that. They have about 700 people on unpaid leave. And they say that they have closed some little clinics that are out in the community. Some of the urgent care clinics have closed because they haven't been able to staff them. But other than that, they are sharing resources. They're getting people to work overtime. They expect that this is going to be a short duration thing and that most of us, if we end up in the hospital, and hopefully we don't, would not even notice. That's their spin. We'll see if that's actually correct. But they do have a huge employee base. So they probably are going to be able to pull that off, Dan.
Got it. All right. Pat Dooris, thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure to have Pat on. All right, let's do the daily vaccine count check-in. Cue the giant numbers. As of this afternoon, more than 5.1 million Oregonians have gotten at least their first dose, and a lot of them have also gotten their second dose. We're at about 67.3% of the state's population with at least one shot. Over to Washington now. More than 5.1 million people have gotten at least their first dose, which works out to about 68.1% of that state's population.